Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend us your ears because we are back and better than ever. Slight rebrand. Welcome back. It's your boys from Drunk on Broad. I'm your host, Rich, joined alongside my colleagues, Don Juan, Nick the Daddy, and of course, Oscar Goro Juan Kenobi over there. Gentlemen, how are we feeling? How are we feeling?
Good.
Alive? Does that count?
Yeah, ish. Like
Oscar,
good. Like
that is a feeling.
yeah.
That is a feeling. So you're halfway there, bud. You're halfway there. You look good, kid. You look good. I'm surprised you didn't come out with like some silver hair for us.
That's sad.
I was gonna say.
Just saying, Oscar. You could have did it. You could have did it. Nick, what's going on? I love the hat. Don probably respects that too.
That is a dope
This
hat.
is the
I like that.
This is the Carhartt series hat I had to get.
I love that. I saw a couple of those. I saw this one that is like a leather. It's like a leather logo on top.
yeah.
That's dope.
They make them for all the Philly teams, but you know, I got to put the Flyers hat on considering they're the only team that we have any hope in right now. So brand new season. So let's go.
Chris, happy birthday, bud. I know your birthday was on the 6th, and we didn't get to say it to you then. Happy birthday. Enjoy the shirt from us at Drunk on Broad. Wear it proudly. Thank you for support. We appreciate you, brother. Oh, gentlemen, it's been a wild, 3 days in sports since Sunday?
Yeah.
Crazy shit across leagues.
It's been crazy. Like just to think, like in the last couple of days, we've had, and I came to the conclusion that October is the best sports month on the calendar. College football, NFL.
I forgot about
NHL.
Alabama losing. Oh shit, yeah.
Oscar's
NFL,
thinking about when the people.
NHL.
Oscar's like soccer though.
Soccer.
Well, NBA, MLB playoffs. I mean, Oscar, where are they in EPL?
It's still very young in the season.
Right. So you've got all four of the major sports. You've got the one major, one of the two major collegiate sports all happening all at the same time. So, I would challenge you to tell me that you can't find some sports content that is not of interest. If you have not watched some of the MLB playoffs, are
Don,
insane.
I'm gonna let you finish, but Drunk on Ice came out and premiered on Thursday. 1,600 views in less than a week. You guys killed it. I listened to it. It was enlightening. I learned so much about hockey in that show. I cannot wait until you guys go on again. Not this Thursday, but next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
As Chris says, the Flyers start on Friday. Hockey is coming back. It is crazy that October is like you said, October is jam-packed with sports.
Fun for everybody, man.
Everything happened from this weekend. Then you see what the Red Sox game debacle. Then you see the White Sox, like just I don't know what they're supposed to be, and the Astros just. I thought they were going to suck without cheating. We were hoodwinked. we were hoodwinked on that one.
Then they lost some players too.
Yeah,
dude, that's the crazy thing. And then Garrett Cole gets rocked in the play-in game because he's not good without cheating. So
all right, relax. All right.
Listen,
are you really going to say that confidently?
I am going to say that confidently. What has he done since he got caught with sticky substances, or since they put a thing that's saying, "Hey, you're gonna get fined"?
I mean, he was still really good, Rich, but he wasn't as dominant. He's still really good.
Cheater's gonna cheat, bro. Cheater's gonna cheat.
You're so mad.
I'm not mad, Oscar. You guys. I'm not you. Your team is paying this dude like $400 million. He should be better than Zach Wheeler.
All right,
Zach Wheeler is better than him.
I'm not paying a single dollar out of that. You think I care how much he's making? Like,
you should. Oh wait, nah, it really doesn't affect you. You're right, Oscar. But that bitch ass New York team that you have, which they're going to say our players underperformed. No shit, they did. Like, we're not dumb. We watched them all season. That lineup should have like 19 home runs a game, and they stink. So how do you feel about that? They fucking stink. stink, Oscar.
Oscar, I gotta tell you. So in watching those 2 playoff games, nothing against you, but I was secretly hoping for the Yankees and the Dodgers to lose. Simple fact for one simple reason: to get rid of that 1-game playoff. If the Yankees and Dodgers lost in that play-in game, especially the Dodgers being 100+ win regular season team,
it looks bad for the sport.
It looks so bad that you take 162 games, that everything is decided on a series, 3 games, 4 games, and then you have 1 game to decide who moves on.
That's baseball, though. Baseball never does anything right, so it doesn't matter. Like, you're looking at a sport that loses constantly, and then you get a 100-team win that has to play in a playoff game, or a 100-win team that has to play in a play-in game, just to show that they're worth the being there. Like, come on, like, they need to do something. Like, you have to make that at least a 3-game series.
3 games, right? You can make it 3 games, even if you don't want to extend that playoff. But still, that 3-game playoff, even if you gave the home team, the first 2 home games, right? You still give them the team that's with the better regular season record, the home field advantage. But I was hoping and praying that the Cardinals will pull it out. But that game was awesome. That Cardinals Dodgers playing game was incredible.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see it. Mike, it's Hershey chocolate porter from Yingling. It's delicious.
Ooh.
It's delicious. Not so nutritious. What do you got, Oscar? What are you looking away for? What are you looking for? You trying to clown me?
I'm just saying you're drinking a lot of Haterade lately. All I hear is hate.
I woke up this morning, had my inaugural cup of Carnation Instant Bitch, because I found out you were coming on today. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But gentlemen, let's pop into a topic. Oscar, throw anything you want on there. If you want to talk the disgrace of the NFL, the Philadelphia. I mean, I'm just kidding. The Eagles won. The Eagles won on Sunday.
They did.
A true defensive effort. I love the fact that I believe it was Les Bowen who I retweeted some stupid shit that he said about Carson Wentz today. Had to go. Darius Slay is the Byron Maxwell of Nnamdi Asomugha. And then what happens? 2 picks on Sunday. He's been playing outer worldly. He's been playing all pro. And he's not?
All pro, Rich?
Right now, yes.
No.
No? Okay. Besides Trayvon Diggs, who's been playing better than him?
There's a lot of guys that don't even get attempts on them. Jair Alexander's hurt right now, so he's 1.
Okay. Sorry, but he's not playing.
I'll have to look at the numbers, but I know that – I mean, it's just –
Darius Slay has been extremely good.
On Sunday was the first time he's actually popped since he's been on this roster.
Well, of course. Well, that's the roster. Right. And that's the defensive scheme.
And it's only because he just had a kid. He had the dad powers with him.
He's got the dad juice.
That does happen.
I would bet he will never have 2 picks again in a game.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's going to be hard because now they're not even going to throw to him. Who do you think lines up against him on Thursday?
Doesn't matter. Tom Brady will put. They should put him on Mike Evans.
That's who I would.
Right.
Mike Evans is going to show that he's too big. If Mike Evans can beat Jalen Ramsey, he can beat Darius Slay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Steve, I mean, it really doesn't matter who they're lining up.
They're going to
whoever they line up against. They're going to if Tom Brady, let's be honest, even in his 40s, is good enough to pick apart any defense. I mean, see last Sunday, but you see what he's doing. Even if you put Slay on one side, right, and he's guarding Mike Evans. If Antonio Brown is lighting the world on fire right now, he's like a man possessed.
He's a Hall of Famer, man.
Brady's favorite target.
Does it really matter at this point?
No.
It honestly really doesn't matter because they are playing.
Even in that win, you still saw the ineptitude of the play calling from Sirianni.
Well, it was a slog. Like you got to the middle of the third quarter, and you would have thought that they were down by 3 touchdowns. The only reason that they were remotely close to being in position to win that game was the defense. Javon Hargrave is playing out of his mind. Fletcher Cox finally got himself off a milk carton.
Yeah.
Like we've got the basis to be able to build around, but even to go back to the Chiefs game, you saw the ineptitude of their middle of that second level, right? That second level is where they struggle, and that's where teams are picking them apart because they realize, like, all right, well, even if we don't want to go over the top, we're just going to run the ball. Like,
yeah,
Kansas City just round the ball, and then when they got content to hold them to the run, what do? They send Tyreek Hill, who, for whatever reason, is being guarded by your linebacker. You just send them deep. Yeah. And you could have played the safeties on the Tacony-Palmyra Bridge, and it's still deep enough.
Adam, they can't double Evans or Brown because then Chris Godwin's going to be left one-on-one with a nickel. And you just can't have that happen.
Do we trust Devontae Maddox on Antonio Brown all game?
No, not at all.
No.
Do we trust Steven Nelson on Chris Godwin all game?
No. It's going to be bad.
It's literally, I feel like it's going to be picked. Like they're just going to be able to kind of just cherry pick wherever they want to go. Wherever they want to go on the field, they're going to be able to pick them apart.
This is the worst matchup for the Eagles defense just because it's Brady.
Yeah. And especially on a short week, too.
Yep.
And
no Dallas Goedert because of COVID.
The weapons alone, in their defense, they are without Levante David, which hurts them, but they're getting Antoine Winfield back. So he helps their secondary, which has been the problem the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
They're hard to run on, and they're not going to run the ball anyway. And Nick Sirianni is going to go into this game thinking, this is Tom Brady. We need to score 40. Yeah, bro, you have Jalen Hurts. You're not scoring 40 on anybody with Jalen Hurts. Okay.
Like you look at that game against the Dolphins. Are the Eagles are basically probably neck and neck with they're very, very similar to the Dolphins. And they just put up 45 points on the Dolphins.
And the Dolphins scored 17, and it was pity points basically.
Yeah. Right.
Late in the game, and it was all checkdowns. You know what I mean?
It was Myles Gaskin. It was Myles Gaskin.
All checkdowns.
Yep, I know that.
Oscar, transition into something happy, if you don't mind.
Happy. What are you guys thinking, though? You're really gonna be like, yo, loss automatic, dog? Like that?
I mean, the Eagles didn't even. People are saying we technically won in the record book, but I think Carolina lost that game more than the Eagles won that game.
Yeah, I mean, there were a handful of plays in the fourth quarter. Here's what I'll say: I don't hate the grit of being able to know that beginning part of the game was a slog, and they struggled and struggled and struggled, and then they found a way to win. Like at least there's a silver lining in that like it wasn't a slog the entire game, and they didn't just say, all right, well, it's a slog, whatever. We don't have what it takes. We're just gonna kind of mail it in. Like they did kind of have some bits and pieces of perseverance to be able to kind of navigate through and figure out a way to win. Does it translate to anything?
No,
not really. It doesn't change the way that I feel about Jalen Hurts. He still doesn't. I mean, there were a couple plays in that Chiefs game where he threw the ball down the field, and it looked like the only thing I can think of is that it looked like when you used to play schoolyard football and you used to have to kick off.
Yeah.
And you used to take like a running start and throw the ball as far as you could. That's what it felt like, for him to be able to throw the ball 40, 50 yards down the field.
Well, Sunday to Quez. If he hits Quez in stride and Quez doesn't have to stop, it's a touchdown.
He had another play where Quez was running wide open. He didn't even see him.
Yeah, it's the third option. Like,
and then
through your reads
in the press conference, he was asked about that. They said he was running wide open. He said, "Well, I'm being coached to follow like different. Like, so what is it? Are you just you don't see it, or are you being coached not to hit the wide open receiver?" Either way, the coach.
Well, it looked like they were tipping half their plays anyway at the line. Like half their plays were just getting stuffed. Like, are you tipping plays, or what are you doing? Because they're
running the same scheme every time, dude.
The first whole drives, Carolina just was calling it out and just lining up on that side, and they were just getting stuffed. So it's either you're doing things that are too obvious, or you're just not changing up your game plan. It's the same thing every week. Let's do a bubble screen. Let's run the RPO but not run.
I think they need to be more like the quarterbacks wear the headset, right? So you can talk to the quarterback up until you snap the ball. Like I think it's up until like 10 seconds left in the play clock.
15 seconds. 15 seconds.
Okay, so John Harbaugh and his offense coordinator are in Lamar Jackson's ear constantly,
Right.
And it works, right?
Hey,
so you need to make Jalen Hurts' job as easy as possible because we know he doesn't have the physical tools when it comes to arm talent. Make it easy. Get the ball out quick, but also when the guys, you need to tell him like, hey, on this route, Quez is going to be open. We're going to tell you right now, look for him first. Tell him stuff like that. But he should also, like, if you're a quarterback, you've been playing at a high level your whole life, right? You should see that a guy's running wide open.
Nick, almost akin to how McVay handled Goff, right? McVay was in his ear all the way up until the last possible second, literally walking him through reads, walking him through, who's going to be open, who's going to be here, look here, he's going to be open. If this guy's not there, look here. You almost have to do it that way in this case to be able to help him maybe see things that he's not seeing, or maybe look at a play in a different way that he's looking at it in the film room. This guy's open. I think when you look at, and I hate to say this, but when you look at when I'm watching the Colts game last night and I'm watching Wentz, and Wentz looked every bit of, 2017-ish.
In the second half, because the first half he was absolute dog shit. He missed open guys like it was his job. He still is missing high. Like that's still Wentz's problem. He still misses high. And then in the second half, he actually came out and looked like the 2017 version.
But you know what he can do, Rich? He can step in the pocket and let a 50-yard laser fly at any time, which hurts him. Okay.
Of course.
Right. And that's the one thing, like Hurts we talked about this, but like Hurts having all the intangibles except for that arm talent. What at the end of the day, you still don't have the arm talent. So if you don't, I think when we look back at the season, what you're starting to see is that he's building that resume of like missing guys short, having to like heave a ball halfway down the field using everything he's got. You're starting to see more of that show up on the resume than you are seeing the plays that pop. Because the plays that pop are short, what are the plays that pop from this year? Like the Rager screen. Like they're all short plays where the guys are making plays in space. They're not. They're not touched. They're not right. So it's two-part, right? Is Sirianni not playing to his strengths, not putting him in position? I also don't get the lack of relying on the run game. That to me makes no sense. If you've got a quarterback who struggles the way Hurts does, the easiest way to solve that problem is to run the ball. And
but Don,
not right now, where he wants, Don.
But for right now, we're going to run away from this topic. Just get up from last night. Did you watch the Monday Night Football game last night? Yes. And Chip said, I said last night Lamar Jackson was an NFL quarterback. Was I wrong? Dude is talented. He accounted for 533 yards of his team's total, 554. The dude is an animal. And he completed 37 of 43 passes. 85% of his passes last night. I saw that stat.
Need to see him win a playoff before he does anything to me. Win a big game, bro.
Well, that's what you're going to – yeah. I mean, he's just last night you could tell, we could tell for the past 3 years, he's just the focal point and the heart and soul of that offense. But, man, Marquise Hollywood Brown is having a season, and that dude is coming on strong. Like, that dude stunk last year. Highly touted coming out of college because he's obviously Antonio Brown's cousin.
He's fast.
But holy shit. Like, when he catches the ball, man, he scores touchdowns. It's a beautiful thing. I wish we had some – oh, wait, no, we do have somebody that fast. We just can't get him the ball.
I mean, you guys do have Joe Flacco now. You do know that, right?
Joe Flacco can get him the ball, baby. That's it.
Might as well just put him in there.
I heard he'd make a great cornerback. So they're going to try him out as our dime guy because Gannon doesn't use it anyway. So that's probably the best way to win is keeping Joe Flacco off the field. So that's just from my opinion and from what I saw from Joe Flacco for the past 5 years since he won a Super Bowl. He's a bum too, Oscar. He's a bum. But around the NFL, injuries. And the first thing I want to talk about, I don't want to talk about Gruden because I just don't give a fuck. That dude is just whatever.
He's an asshole, piece of shit.
Fucking stupid.
Piece of garbage.
Just don't be dumb. But did anybody see Jabril Cox? Somebody posted on his Instagram, like tagged him in, like when Danny Dimes got up after he was like all knocked out. And
You mean Jabril Peppers?
falling. What?
Jabril Peppers?
No, Jabril Cox. When he knocked Jabril Cox from Cowboys.
No.
You don't know who he is.
Cowboys defense is a lot of no names, so it's fine.
He's the dude from LSU from last year who we all liked.
Is this I thought his first name wasn't Jabril though.
Yeah. It's
No,
Jabril.
Jabril, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Jabril Cox. He's the
I know
one
who you're talking about.
He's
I
the
just
one who
didn't see it.
smashed Danny Dimes in the head. So a fan goes and retweets Joe Flacco is the quarterback of this team. I'll stop watching. Mike, if Joe Flacco is the quarterback of this team, I'm quitting the podcast. And
No way, dude.
comes
You're gonna see
Oscar's Joe Flacco.
You're on the team. How could you even be mad about
it would be the Nick Foles effect, Mike. They would put him in and they would all of a sudden open up the offense and you'd see Quez Watkins and Devontae Smith catching 50-yard touchdown passes. That's what happens in this.
Man, what a world that would be. But back to the thing I was trying to say. Jabril Cox, the guy like posted the thing and said, "Oh, look at Cox out here dishing out concussions." And then Jabril Cox adds it to his Instagram story.
That's great.
Fucking stupid. Like, you just murdered a guy. Like, you murdered a guy.
Taysom Hill got murdered too.
Dude, that was a bad shot. That looked terrible. I saw that on what was it? On the red zone. And I saw his head get decapitated. I was like, holy shit. Yeah. Then you lose Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's on IR. Then who else was lost this week?
Barkley.
Barkley with his ankle.
His ankle was muffed.
Dude, I thought it was worse than they're saying a low ankle sprain.
Well, and Russ is out.
Oh, Russ. Yeah, Russ.
It's probably closer to the 4 to 6 week timeline, but in their division, I mean, they don't really have.
Yeah, they're done. They're toast.
Got Arizona and the Rams, dude.
To repair a torn tendon in the top of your face, like that's nuts. Because when I was working my hand clinic, we actually had one of those, and that dude was like in there for like I think he was going on like a year and a half of getting therapy on it. It's really nice, guys, when you have money and the best hand surgeons and the best therapists. I'm just saying.
And he's in really good physical shape too. So
dude's a monster. Yeah, this guy was not. And Joe Burrows gets like an anterior like throat injury. Like,
and
that's fucking crazy.
I mean,
never seen somebody with a throat contusion
with a torn labrum.
Well, Baker got the torn labrum, but he's not out. He's still playing.
Well, I know, but I'm saying he's playing with it in his non-throwing shoulder. So
and that game was.
Speaking of the Browns, that Browns Chargers game was nutty. That was crazy. Yeah, I put something out. The Chargers hit the over all on their own. The over was 46.5. They had 47. But it's a shame. And I know that's the reason why the NFL sells the Sunday ticket. But like the fact that the Cowboys Giants game was on and not that game was a travesty.
It's America's team, baby. It's America's team.
Oh, I know. They got people that tune in. I know they got people that tune in from everywhere. But that, seeing some of the statistical stuff out of that game, all of the statistical stuff around the Browns and all the points that they put up and the yards that they put up in a loss was.
How many times do we have to watch like a bad Packers game? Like that's annoying. Like we watch like you have to get forced into watching like a bad Packers game. Or a Detroit game,
but that
Cincinnati game.
That Packers Bengals game was great. Was a great game.
Well, I'm not saying. I'm saying in the
past, yes.
But they're the teams that always get the spots, especially in our market. Like we don't get the C.
Right, that Sunday 4 o'clock spot.
You just watch Justin Herbert and Josh Allen, and you're just like, why don't we have one of those guys?
They're so fucking good.
They're both really.
They're so
Josh Allen's a freak too, man. That
For
dude
the
is-
same reason why, like, the MLB playoffs show me how far away the Phillies are from actually being relevant. Watching Justin Herbert and Josh Allen and all
Kyler
those
Murray and
Kyler Murray, all those that next group of talented quarterbacks shows you how far away Jalen Hurts is from, because he's not even in that echelon of quarterback.
And a lot of teams have bad offensive lines, so I really don't want to hear it. But they also run better offenses that help their quarterback.
Where's the
It's
creativity?
amazing when you actually like let your quarterback throw the ball without having to fake a handoff every single play.
yeah.
Where's the thing that I'm not seeing is I'm not seeing any of the creativity. Like, mix it up a little bit. Like, can we get Quez coming across on just coming across in motion and just hand him the ball and let him run around the corner? Can we get a bubble screen that turns into a pass? Can I just get something? Can I get something that like is going to keep the defense on their heels to know that not every play is going to be
MVP of what?
a bubble screen or
MVP of what?
he
The
did.
league, bro, what else can you be MVP of?
Baldy did put something out there, and when I saw it, I couldn't tell if it was in. I couldn't tell if it was in jest or not.
bro.
My God, the heroic performance.
But in other news, I just saw Freddie Freeman hit a home run in the bottom of the eighth, so they're up 5-4 now. Three outs
just
away.
saw.
Off Josh Hader too. You're like, why can't we have a Freddie Freeman, man? We had Ryan Howard, who
Nick, we can't have nice things.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to
We're
have
not
nice
allowed to
things.
have nice things.
So we get, instead of getting nice things, they give us Ben Simmons back. Thanks so much.
Oh,
Oh.
that sounds like a fun transition. Let's get into it. Sixers NBA. How do you? All right, here's my thing on the whole stuff. All right,
Oscar.
Oh, I see.
Oscar,
I see.
aka Oscar Lynn.
Lynn.
Oscar Lynn sanity.
Lynn Sanity. That's all Oscar cares about is Jeremy Lin as a New York Knick.
Yeah, Jeremy Lin. Yeah, took the world by storm, man.
2012 in the
I was gonna
house.
say, go grab your jersey, Oscar.
Yeah, go put it on. Put it on, Oscar.
You know where it is.
Put it on. Yeah, that's right, below. How do you not know that Ben Simmons is in town and at the facility getting a COVID test?
They said that he didn't. They were in talks with him, and he never told them or his agent. So I mean, it's like
It's so fucking strange.
after they talked to him.
Dude, he's a strange motherfucker. Like, I don't even care. Like,
Or hilarious. Like,
and
he literally,
shout out to Big T Will, because follow the tea leaves, you know he was going to be here.
Yep.
Yeah,
Wasn't
bro,
me.
that's too much money to let. He already lost $1 million.
$44 million if he didn't show up at all this season. That dude came cowering back like, what about my money?
I mean, I had put something together for final thoughts, and I'm going to save it, which is Clark Griswold-esque. But I just
Fall off a ladder.
Oh, leadoff single by the Brewers in the top of the ninth.
Ooh, make it spicy.
Nice.
Make it spicy.
I just listen. I would have had so much more respect for him if he had just held out and just said, like, "Yo, I don't want to play. I'm not playing here." But he and Clutch Sports handled this so epically bad that they really didn't give themselves a plan B. They never gave themselves an option.
You talking about Don? You talking about the Sixers or Simmons himself?
Kind of both. Like Simmons never gave himself an out. Like they kind of dug in and said, "This is what we're going to do,"
Yeah.
but never had a plan B, and there was no way out. I think they sincerely thought that the Sixers were going to cower.
Mhm.
They were going to figure out a way to move
Sure.
him because they didn't want the distraction. But I think the thing that people don't realize is that, in listening to Big T Will and listening to some of the stuff that they're talking about, that CBA is huge. That CBA that the NBA just put in place.
Yeah.
And I really do believe that someone from higher up in the NBA, whether it goes all the way up to Adam Silver, I really think that they said, "Find this dude, just find him." That we cannot create this type of environment where you get a guy to sign a 4-year max deal
And then he decides he doesn't want to be there.
And 1 year into that deal says, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
I think that the Sixers had the support of the NBA in knowing that they're just going to find him.
Oh, of course.
And find him. But what Simmons didn't realize is that what he could have done is done all of this stuff behind the scenes, came back, gone to training camp, go through the motions, do whatever he was going to do, and then make himself.
I'm calling bullshit because you can't do anything behind the scenes anymore because everything gets leaked for either an advantage or for sympathy. So you can't do it. There's no more, all right, we're going to do things in secret and I'm going to try to do this. Like someone's going to get a hand of it. Somebody's going to go, yo, you want to break this story and see what we got?
Maybe.
Like nobody does things behind closed doors.
Put it this way, Rich. He could have done it. He could have done it in a less douchey way.
He could have handled it.
That's not him, though. That's not him.
No, I'm saying like but shame on him for trusting Clutch Sports.
But
and
Rich,
putting all his eggs in that basket.
It is him because he's still Rich Paul's boss at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right.
So if he tells Rich Paul, yo, shut the fuck up, like let me just go and play.
That's my whole thing. I agree with you guys. He should have.
You should have said, you can talk to Daryl and do what you need to do, but I'm going to show up. I don't need to villainize myself anymore with this city and my teammates because now Joel's like over it. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
But like now he's going to have to go back there and try and prove to himself, like, yo, I'm here to win.
He's going to have to tuck tail.
And the one benefit that Daryl Morey has here is that he's not a rookie GM, right? He's a veteran GM. He knows, like, hey, just because this guy wants out doesn't mean I have to give him an out. I'm still paying him. He's still my asset on my team. So he can say whatever he wants. He can cry about it, but ultimately I have the leverage because I'm the one that can withhold checks from him. You know, like even though they were saying he's going to hold that, and I'm like, oh, when you start losing money, bro, he's probably like, listen, I mean, it's a lot of money I'm starting to lose just because I'm not showing up. I can show up, do what I need to do, go through, just like you said, Don, go through the motions, contribute decent amount,
right?
And I'll be fine. And then once the league starts, people will realize their team's not as good as they think, or this player had enough.
And you go grab them.
Happen, and then it's like, okay, now we can trade him.
Right?
Like people still talking about the Dame package. Okay, do I want a 33-year-old Damian Lillard? No, not really. I don't. I like him. I still don't think that's the best package you can get for him. I want them to go get Bradley Beal if they can make that happen. We'll see.
Oscar, you had something.
That's a better piece going forward because then the window as Joel gets older, Bradley Beal is still younger and he's never had the injury concerns.
Yeah, he's a guy who can carry you.
And he can go get you 50 whenever he wants.
Yeah. Oscar, you were saying something and I interrupted you like 5 minutes ago. What were you saying?
Really? I don't remember.
Something about Ben Simmons.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Just
Oscar loves Ben Simmons.
I do love Ben Simmons. I mean,
give us your thought. Give us your thought, Oscar.
I mean, like everybody is right. They try to keep it professional behind the scenes. It's really hard to do that because, like you said, things get leaked. It happens in every single sport, no matter what it is.
Come on, bro. You can't strike out in that spot, dude. These Brewers, man. Joke artists.
I just think like I don't know. I just think like it. We don't need to give him sympathy, and he doesn't deserve the sympathy per se. But at the same time, it's just like if we could stop hating him, like if this dude just comes back and fixes it, maybe fixes his problem 25%, but that 25% is enough to like get them pretty far deep in the playoffs, he'd probably be all right.
See, I don't see it that way. I don't see it because of the way that. So, in my opinion, in watching people in Philadelphia sports, besides T.O., but I don't even blame T.O. because I think T.O. wasn't a villain in the situation. I just think Donovan McNabb was just being a bitch about it.
He wasn't villain. He was villainized.
He was villainized.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I've never seen an athlete villainize or like basically sabotage themselves as much as Ben Simmons has, especially playing for a huge market in Philadelphia. Like that's the thing that kills me. It's like I wasn't mad at Ben. Okay, the playoffs. We knew he was gonna I didn't know he was gonna disappear, but I knew what I was getting from him. I knew he wasn't gonna shoot, but I'm like, he's gonna be locked down. But the whole him disappearing, I'm like, all right, that can't fly. I did not hate him. until. But I don't really even hate him because I don't know the guy. So I'm just like feeling different.
Yeah.
It's like it is what it is. We all know.
You strongly dislike the player.
I strongly dislike the dude because of the way he handled it. Like, I'm not mad at you for saying, hey, I won out. But the way you did everything, I'm throwing my home up for sale. I'm doing this.
Two homes.
It's 2 homes. I'm taking my ball and I'm going to the West Coast. Oh, I want to play here. And people are like, dude, you have no fucking power. Like, who cares, bro? Like, I don't give a shit what you think. Like, Daryl Morey's not giving you away. Sit down, shut the fuck up, get the basketball, and go work on it, and stop putting out these stupid fucking jump shot videos every goddamn summer. That's what I'm mad about. I'm not mad about
the athletes. That's PR. Like, he's doing that no matter what. Like, that's just people taking those videos and putting it up for him.
It's just goofy shit.
But Oscar, though, like
circumstances, just goofy shit.
The fact that he's getting roasted publicly by guys in the league, by ESPN. Like former players,
I would retire.
Christian Yelich strikes out looking, bro. Braves win.
I mean,
Braves won. Free.
Yeah, Braves won. He struck out looking in the ninth.
Fucking Mookie.
Yeah. Third inning, the ninth inning. Terrible at bats, Rich. This is literally what the Phillies would do: leadoff single.
Yep.
Colton Wong pop out to the infield or shallow left field, pop out, strikeout swinging, strikeout looking in the game.
You can't strike out looking at the end of the game.
No.
Oh, that's awful.
You got to go down swinging. No, but like.
But Philly should have been in the playoffs. We were bad.
The Phillies wouldn't have lasted.
The Phillies should have made the playoffs.
The Phillies wouldn't have lasted 3 innings with anybody.
Our luck is we would have won the playoff game and or the one game playoffs.
The one game playoff
would have pitched to Gem, right? And Girardi either would have botched it somehow, or we win. And then we play Milwaukee or the Giants and just get boat race swept 3 games to zilch. And then everybody's like, well, we made the playoffs. I'm like, yeah, but all that does is give Girardi more security in his job. And it's just
if I see more analytics on how great these Philly hitters were and how much Rhys Hoskins meant to his team while he was in there.
We have one player.
Done. I'm just done.
One
Don't
guy.
show me any analytics on.
It's like the Eagles, bro. How many players on the roster do you think are actually? You know what I mean? Like
pick 5 people. Okay, let's play a game. We'll go around. We'll go around the horn. Go around the horn. 5 people that you would want the Eagles to build this team around.
5 players total.
5 players.
Go ahead, Nick.
All right. So we have Mailata.
Okay.
Devontae Smith.
Okay.
Dallas Goedert.
Okay.
I'll pick him just because he's good if they use him right.
Picking a tight end. Okay.
Defense is tough, bro.
I'm just saying anybody, Nick. Give me anyone. And I'm so the worst parts of sports. You're damn correct, Mr. Mike.
Yo.
Damn. So when I get to 3, because obviously
you see how fucking all right. So this is my point, Nick, and you proved it. You can't even pick 5 guys, and I gave you 5 because my dad gave me 6 the other day, and I found it very hard.
I mean, I would say Hargraves maybe, but like he's 28, 29.
Okay.
And then the corners are old. And then Josh Sweat, he's okay. That's it. There's no secondary is old vets that are not going to be here. The linebackers absolutely stink. Offensive line, you have Mailata. That's it. Maybe Dickerson. Okay, great.
Don, who you got? Pick your 5.
I'm going to start with Aaron Sippis.
You have to.
Hey, he's money. He's our best player.
Take the punter, baby.
He's probably the best guy. He's probably the position that's performing the best. Mailata, Smith. I'm going to go Gainwell. And then on defense, I mean, Hargrave.
Yep. See, it should be easy.
It should be so much easier.
Quez.
We can give me teams in the division. I'd be able to pick 5 over
Quez. Maybe Quez
wouldn't even be number 4 on half the teams in the league.
I know.
Quez wouldn't even make the roster.
That's what I'm saying. But
we're picking.
This is the point of this exercise, guys. It's so hard to name 5 guys that you would
Rich. Howie did a really good job last year, but he says, and he's
the man.
He's going to have his job forever. That's why I don't want these 3 picks are a gift and a curse that we're going to have in the first round.
Right. Now
It's a gift because we need the talent. It's a curse because we have to trust that Howie fucking Roseman, the weasel, dweeb, midget, mathematician, weirdo. I'm going to make these picks, guys. I really trust my scouting department.
Yeah.
We're going to trust him to make these picks.
Yo, shout out to my boy D. He tweeted, somebody said, he said, Howie, release those emails. And then I quote tweet and replied to him, nobody wants to see Jeffrey's nudes. Because obviously that's the only thing he has in it. Because how that dude has a job is just probably like,
God.
and it's probably like Jeffrey Lurie, like doing like the whole like Eagles lineman pose, but just like letting his like little bird hang out.
No, or he got caught with like some like young Asian masseuse like Robert Kraft.
His wife?
His wife? Yeah, I was gonna say.
He's saying his wife.
Yeah, he left his original his first wife for a younger
for a younger Asian woman.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. That's what. Well, at least I know he's got a thing for it. So
Yeah.
it makes sense.
This is how, and this is how things happen.
Well, listen, the one thing, Rich, with that Wentz pick, that division sucks, and that is probably the best thing that could happen for the Eagles for that pick.
They're going to keep playing
regardless of how shitty the Colts are, if the shittier that division is, the more they're going to keep playing them because they're still going to be in the race. And if they're in the playoff race, and I say playoffs, like if they're remotely relevant in that division, they're going to have to keep playing them. There's no way that they can take that guy off the field.
Adam, don't make me block you for putting Singleton down there. Do not make me block you for putting Singleton down there, Adam. You are smarter than that, Adam. Stop it with the nonsense.
You also saw that Carson Wentz played pretty good yesterday.
Yeah.
So, like, if he plays like that and they lose, that's on the defense. You can't have that big of a lead and lose the game.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
But
I think
Singleton stinks.
God,
I don't even like to look at that dude.
But I
cut
think
my hair because of Alex Singleton.
I think it's coming to one of our favorite parts of the show. Our new edition called Oscar's 2 Minutes, where Oscar can say whatever the hell he wants for 2 minutes. Well, keep it on track with some shit. Don't be like weird. No hentai.
Just be Oscar. That's
Don't be dropping links to hentai, bro.
All right, so here's where you go for hentai.com.
The more tentacles, the better.
Speaking of, I heard Venom was like tentacle sex, like the whole. I'm dead serious. Like that's like one of the reviews. Like
what?
All right,
Venom's tentacle sex. All right, that's cool.
Not sports related. Did you guys see Squid Game? Yo,
Squid Game was nuts.
Yo,
called in the beginning now.
All right, don't say anything. I'm on.
I have 2 episodes left.
I'm at the episode where they're playing the marble game.
Oh,
that's fucked.
You're going to be really angry.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're going to be pissed.
I'm prepared. But that's where I literally had to press pause before I went to work this morning.
Speaking of that, since you guys are doing subtitles now, I hope.
It's all subtitles. It's Japanese or Korean and then subtitles.
Yeah, there's this one movie on Netflix. It's #Alive, and it's a zombie apocalypse flick in South Korea, and I think it's only like an hour and a half, so it's kind of short, but it's so, oh my God, that movie messed me up too. Just thinking about like what you would do in a zombie apocalypse. And I don't think it's realistic because zombies aren't real, right?
Not yet.
Yeah, right?
We don't know yet.
Not yet. But Squid Games, the most fucked up part of Squid Games to me was the fight. Was the fight in the during the night.
Oh, that was
See, this is why I love shows like that, because you knew something like that was going to happen, because that is literally the worst of humanity. And that's why I like watching these shows, because you're always going to get the worst of humanity. So what's the thing you say? Well, if we kill these guys before they play the game, it helps our chances. And I think that's the part that like really like fucks with me. I'm like, damn, like they're just murking people in their sleep, like not giving a fuck.
The one dude was sitting on his bed and they came up behind him and they just.
I know, dude.
Out,
I'm like, yo, this is so fucking crazy.
One guy's getting stabbed with the broken glass bottle, like just going at people. It was
Squid Games was nuts.
Nutty, like crazy. I had heard about it a lot, and the first episode I started with the dubbed version,
Mhm.
Don't dub
And
it.
I'm like, yeah, I can't. I couldn't do it. It not matching up and it not being in English. Just I couldn't do it. It just the voices were all off. It just sounded funky.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah,
crazy.
subs. I think it's just the way to go. I mean, the translation is so much better than dub. Dub, I feel like they try to condense it
Yeah.
and like make it quick. You use a lot of sentiment, and plus, the Korean actors I just think are better.
Yeah.
Well, and they
Jamie's been
gave
watching like a shit ton of like Danish crime shows. I'm like, Jamie, like, what are you watching?
I just watched the Danish crime show on Netflix today, Rich. Probably the same one.
Yeah, what is it?
A Chestnut Man.
I think that's
Pretty
what
good.
she's watching. Yo,
Pretty
bro.
good.
I'm like, what are you I'm like, Jamie,
Pretty
what are you
good.
doing? But it's funny, I'll go in the room and I'm like, oh, I'm sneaking in. I'm like, okay. It was like halftime last night. I'm sneaking in. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed. I put the game on whatever, the record, watched it this morning. And she's in there like on her phone, like just watching. I'm like, Jamie, we have this big ass TV. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, no, this is how I watch it on the train and it works. So this is my eyes are better trained for this. I'm like, this is so awkward. I'm like, so weird. But I'm like, what are you watching? Because it's like they're not like she doesn't have the dubs on. I'm like, she's like, oh, it's a Danish crime show. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. And that's all she's into. It's like foreign dramas. After like she swore them off. She's like, oh, I can't watch this because their lips don't add up. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, well, put the subtitles on. That's what I do.
Really good. They do. I feel like they're different. They do a really good job with the storytelling. Squid Games, like if they're gonna try and remake it or something, it's gonna be stupid. Like it's fire the way it is. Don't mess with it.
They did talk about. I watched an interview with the director, and they were talking about that they left some of the storyline open for a potential set. Like if they wanted to do,
show,
if they
guys,
wanted,
we can
if
actually
they wanted
just
to do a
talk about
second
the whole
season.
thing.
Yeah, sure.
Jesus.
But yeah, let's switch before we start talking about the whole thing, right?
What?
The switch.
Oh, Don, what's up in hockey?
Well, listen, I got before we get started in any of the content. Listen, I just got to say that the response that we've had and the feedback that we've had from that first episode, listen, never did I ever think that we would be pushing, close to 1,700 views on Twitter and 200 plus on Facebook. So, for everybody that's out there that's listening, that's sharing it, that's tuning in, we truly appreciate it. We're gonna, we've got a couple tweaks that we're kind of working into the future episodes, trying to keep it closer to an hour. Hopefully, with having 2 weeks in between and only doing an hour, it'll be kind of action packed. It'll be full of great content, full of great conversation, and just really excited to kind of push that content out, and to start to grow this kind of brand into something big. So really looking forward to it.
It was great. Everybody loved it. Keep it going. Carry the brand, baby. Carry the brand.
Absolutely.
I was playing a dungeon in one of these video games, listening to it live, and I was like, oh, I could actually do this more often because that's like 2 hours of gameplay where I'm just like hitting X a lot. And
What game are you playing, Os?
It's called Persona 5 Royal. Or Royal. Yeah.
Okay.
What is it?
It's
Really
an
good brand
Japanese
next
RPG.
week.
It's an RPG for what? Xbox?
Yeah. PS4, you can play it on.
All right. You got to text it to me.
Yeah. Actually, I'll give you a copy when I'm done with it.
Oh, you have the disc. Nice. All right. I'm in. Cool. Need a new game anyway. Don, hockey. What's going on?
I mean, listen, they're going to start up on Friday. They're going to start the season off. I think, you're looking at the opportunity for them to really see what those changes that they made in the offseason around
Carter Hart. Definitely.
Carter Hart.
No, definitely get Carter Hart as your guest. Get him on.
Oh.
Get him on.
I was like,
Wait.
wait.
First guest, Carter Hart.
What happened? No, I mean, listen, they've got to be able to, if he's not the comeback, bounce back player of the year for this team, then they're going to be struggling, I think, to even be a contender. As it sits in that division, you're still looking at them being kind of like middle of the pack in that division. So, could they end up being? I think they're going to be more along the lines of like just outside the top three.
Okay.
So, but they do have the opportunity. You know, Ellis and Ristolainen and Yandel, those are guys that are all going to be quality additions, guys that are, you know, either captains or assistant captains on previous teams, so they're bringing a lot of leadership. The guy that I'm looking at to be able to elevate this year, I think, is Provorov. I think him having that support on the back end and him not having to carry, you know, a hot pile of garbage around the ice and try to man I mean, he was legit trying to man the blue line by himself.
Yeah,
he was trying to do way too much and hurt your progress as a player.
So now having those three guys and him not having to be on the back line by himself, I think you're going to see him have the opportunity to maybe, you know, move himself into that elite echelon of defenders in the East.
I like it. That's what's up in Milwaukee. Gentlemen, it has been fun. It has been a pleasure. But now it is time for our final thoughts. And Oscar, take it away, bud.
Me first?
You, big dog.
All right, so final thoughts. It has really nothing to do with sports, I guess you could say. It
doesn't have to be. It's final thoughts. Oscar. We've been on the podcast for like fucking weeks.
Relevant, but like over the last week, Saudi billionaires took over Newcastle United, worth $300 billion, and yeah, I'm kind of scared about what that's kind of do with football. Because like when you think about it, like it has been happening slowly, and in the United States, you've been seeing a lot of foreign owners come in. I think the NFL is actually kind of suited for that, though. They have like the whole salary cap thing and everything to kind of prevent like I guess you could say, a superstar team. Even the Buccaneers are a superstar team, but it kind of makes you think, man. Like once this money gets in, the bubble's gonna burst everywhere, and not just like in one sport. It's kind of scary, especially like past COVID. If you see like the numbers on like the revenue, like forget about like TV deals and everything. The revenue has just gone so far down, and it's not because people are stopped going to the games. It's like people in general just stop caring, buying merchandise and stuff like that. So all these millionaires are essentially going to have control of everything, like absolutely everything.
Fuck, that was deep.
Damn.
Oscar just like hit us with the truth bomb. But yeah, dude, you start funneling outside money, dude, and you're letting new owners take over, and they got billions. It's going to be hard to compete, especially because there's no salary cap in soccer.
Like,
right?
Who's the only billionaire owner in the NFL? Isn't it only like Jerry Jones?
No, most of them are billionaires.
Nah.
Are there most billionaires?
Jerry Jones is, I know your dudes, aren't they? From Tampa Bay? Aren't they billionaires?
Yeah, the Glazers.
Yeah, the Glazers.
You have
even Saad Khan, like the guy that owns the Jaguars.
Yeah, but he also owns a few clubs over. Yeah, they're like
Jeffrey Lurie's a billionaire now, just from the Eagles.
Who is?
Jeffrey Lurie.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Not yet?
No. He's like worth like, I think it was like $300 million.
No way. How's the team worth more than that? And he's not worth more. It doesn't make any sense, Rich.
Yeah. Look it up. I know he was not pushing $1 billion. I know that. And he owns that the production thing. I didn't think he was over.
That's how he got started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think he was over $1 billion.
Jeffrey Lurie's worth $3.5 billion, bro. As of this year.
I sounded confident in it, but I had no idea.
Yeah.
Bought the team for $185 million, and they're worth $3.1 billion now. That's a
good.
Imagine like the Qatar Sports Group bought like the Philadelphia Eagles just because they have so much more. Like they go over and hey Jeffrey, here's $10 billion. See you later.
He owns he only owns 90% of the Eagles too, so I don't know who owns the other 10%, but
that's wild. Oscar, I saw a couple of EPL shows that I watched. Have you seen anything on Netflix? I watched the Sunderland show.
I did not see that one.
And then there's one on Amazon about Leeds.
Yes, I did see that one.
Those, when I saw those, the connection between the fan base and the team, I identified a lot of Philadelphia in both of those.
I was gonna say,
but
the closest fan base to, I guess you would say, a European fan base is the Philadelphia Eagles. Far and be like maybe the Bills, but definitely the Eagles. And I've seen it like firsthand.
All right, Nick, your final thought, bud.
Yeah, we don't even need to talk about sports. I was just gonna say, like, I got 2 episodes left of Squid Game. I know I'm gonna be angry. I've been telling Rich I've been pissed off this whole time.
It's a fucked up
With a
ride.
couple of these guys, bro. I'm so fucking pissed.
It's a fucked up
You
ride.
get invested with some of these people, and you're like, yeah, bro, come on, man. And then, you know, I'm a big Sopranos fan. Best show all time, in my opinion. I saw the new Sopranos movie, and I have to say,
Was it good? No.
it was okay. Like, I just expected it to be better. I feel like it ended kind of abruptly, and it didn't really get into much of the backstory of Tony himself. It's kind of him as a kid.
Right.
And it's like you see some of the people that like he talks about in the show and like had an influence on him, but it's kind of like it's not much of him. So I feel like
it's more of like his uncle, correct?
yeah, it's more about Chris Moltisanti's dad and his grandpop and like the whole story of like how they kind of had all this turmoil in the city and like during the riots at the time and how like it impacted the city with the blacks versus the whites, all that stuff back in the day. So like I just thought it should have been more focused on Tony like in his teenage years and then his early years, because he obviously, when it comes to his friends like Paulie and Sil and Big Pussy and all them, like they're all mobsters and made men before him. Like they're all older than him.
Yeah.
It's just so weird that like
Right.
you don't get to see him make that transition, which is what I wanted to see. I kind of didn't watch any trailers or previews on purpose. I wanted to kind of go into it not suspecting what it was. I still think that if you like The Sopranos, you should watch it. But
Nick, is there any room?
It's literally a perfect TV show, and then it leaves you wanting more. That's all.
Do you think there's any room for like another movie that would bridge the gap between
There
the end of
is,
this?
and talking to David Chase at an interview, and they asked him about it. He said that he left that open, but ultimately, they interviewed some of the characters, and they said it's basically in his court. Like if HBO wants him to do it, he'll do it basically, or if a movie studio picks it up, they would do it, because it's just kind of creepy when you watch James Gandolfini's son, because he really looks so much like him in his face.
Yeah.
And he has the same mannerisms when he talks. So it really does. Like you can be like, okay, that really was him when he was a kid. But then they just kind of left it where, like, would you watch it, Rich? You'll watch at the end and you'll be like, oh, that's it. It just ends like that.
So that's how the Sopranos. So it'll be just how the Sopranos ended for me.
Well, Sopranos
like,
did that on purpose. He wanted people to kind of figure out themselves, and like he gave it multiple reasons how you can end it. But the show, you watch the new movie and you kind of see how it ends. Like you're like, okay, it makes sense, but why didn't they just keep going? I'd be like,
Do you think they're just trying to drive people back to watch The Sopranos? Like,
maybe,
Probably.
but I think like if you're going to see that movie, most people that saw that, probably 95% have seen Sopranos multiple times. I've seen Sopranos 4, 5, 6 times, the whole thing all the way through. So, I mean, it doesn't make me like the show less. If anything, I'm like, it should have been better because the show was so good.
Right.
I heard the new James Bond movie was good. I heard it was really good.
Did you? I'll check it out when it comes out. I mean, I like that most movies now you can see without going to the theater.
Yeah,
I do like that.
Yeah. I will pay the $20 at home to rent the movie.
With kids, kids, you guys get it. With kids, man, it's easier just to watch it at home.
Oh my God! To just buy it on Disney Plus, throw it on, everybody sit on the couch. If you got to pause, go to the bed. You can take care of all that stuff at home.
You're not going to
have to. Yep. Nope. Not at all.
Don, take it away.
Oh, all right. Well, in my car ride home this afternoon is normally reserved for a very calm ride home. But in starting to read and listen to some of the stuff that was coming out about the way that Ben Simmons handled that whole situation last night, and like to me in my mind, I just started thinking about that scene in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, where he's talking to the boss and he's just screaming at him. And I'm literally like, I just wrote down like a bunch of stuff that I'm like it's gutless, spineless, having no self-respect, a lack of desire to improve his game. He's greedy. He's money grubbing. He's a social media whore. He's spineless. He blames everything on the media and his fans and his teammates. I would have had 1,000,000 times more respect for the dude if he had just held out. But because you got the money. But no, he came crawling back to Philly like a thief in the night. Because in the end, for him, it's all about money. I'm glad that the Sixers in the NBA held their ground while Clutch Sports spun a social media circus blaming everyone but him. You, sir, Ben Simmons, do not deserve the honor of wearing that team's gear anywhere on your body because you represent everything that is wrong
with today's athlete.
With today's professional athlete. And you do not deserve the honor of representing this sports city and this fan base.
I like it, Don. I like the fire.
I
angry Don.
I mean,
I agree with you.
That was the PG version. The expletive version was me screaming in the car, just like, you're a mother trucker. I can't with him anymore. And for me, it's not. It's what have we been calling it, Rich? What town does he live in?
Welcome to Pettyville, bitch.
I can't. I'm done. Rich, what do you got? Final.
That is where we are. That is where we are. That's what I said. That is where we are at. So, few things. One, movie I saw this weekend, Nobody, was fantastic. I saw it on demand. What, Oscar? What are you looking at me like that?
Is that the Liam Neeson movie?
I think you said RR. It was weird, bro.
I know. I said where we are, but I meant to say where we are at. Oscar.
Rich, is that the Liam Neeson movie?
No, it's a dude from Better Call Saul.
Ooh.
And the Riz is in
Bob
it,
Odenkirk,
and Christopher Lloyd.
Is that when he is like a regular dude and then turns into like a beast?
So he works for all the intelligence agents as a adjuster, which meaning he's just going to murder the shit out of you. Dude, it was fantastic. It reminded me of There She Is. There she is, Don. Don't get out.
There it is.
Or there she is. Mrs. C.
That's the boss lady.
The boss lady. It's phenomenal. It was a really good movie. It's what John Wick would be if there was actual lines in the movie. Not cocaine lines. I'm talking like acting lines. Oscar's eyes got really bug-eyed.
I heard cocaine.
I heard cocaine.
Do it.
So I really recommend you guys watch it. It's an awesome film. It's just fun. It made me just like, this is dope. Number 2, JID, DiCaprio 2, phenomenal album. Even though it's from like 2018, dude, it's so good. It's so good. Listen to that this weekend.
I know JID. He's on Dreamville. He signed to J. Cole's label. He's very good.
Really good. Run the Jewels 4, fantastic album. Give that a listen to. And my final thought, Lil Wayne has some of the best features this year. I'm just throwing that out there.
Come on, Rich. He's the GOAT for a reason.
No, Oscar, I'm not even kidding. Between him and 21 Savage are literally
killing the feature game this year.
I was going to say the feature game is
absolutely ridiculous.
Listen, Oscar, I've said this before that Knife Talk is the best. That's the best song on that album.
And Savage kills it.
And it's because of 21 just killing that song.
And like I've been hearing that a lot. I mean, he's always been getting disrespected because like when he does his solo albums, they're like to his likings.
I think he's gotten better though.
He's gotten
better. Rappers start hot and cool off. He's gotten better.
Yeah. Well, I think he started getting better when he got deported, if you believe it or not. Like that's when the turnaround came, really.
And my final thought. Jay-Z had 2 of the worst features this year, and that was on Kanye's album and Drake's album.
I didn't like either one of them either. Right?
They were I listened to them on the way home because Tom was like, yo, I didn't like Hov's features. I'm like, on what? He's like, Kanye's album. I don't know the name. That's your boy.
Donda.
Yeah, and on Drake's album. And I listened to both songs back to back, and I'm like, yeah, these suck. And
he doesn't have the, I mean, like, what's he got to rap about now?
No, I'm just saying for the GOAT, for like somebody who's supposed to be like everybody's top 3, they were bad.
Yeah, Rich, I listened to Kanye's album religiously for the first 2 weeks it came out, and I think that he probably has the worst feature on the album.
100%, yeah.
Which for him, that should never happen.
No, he should. Yeah, he should.
Especially because him and Kanye have always made really good music together.
Oh yeah, agreed. But I'm also not going to get into the final take. Oscar, you can end the broadcast. Philly, we are out. Kanye's new album was trash. I don't want to get into that argument with Nick because he loves Kanye. Philly, we love you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming on.
Go buy lots of rain watches.
It was not good. Adam, thank you. Lacey,
Let's
thank
do it
you
again,
for coming
Rich.
on. Kanye's new album was doo-doo.
Yeah, Tech
Fuck
Nine's
Ben
got a new
Simmons.
album now too. So
Who does?
Tech Nine.
Oh, I did. I listened to it. I didn't like it.
See,
Did
look
you
at
like
Rich,
it?
dude. Rich
Did
is
you
getting
like it?
older and he's getting more ornery.
Base.
But did you like it, though?
What? Tech
Did you
Nine's
like
album?
Tech Nine's new album?
I mean, I don't like it as much as other stuff, but it's not bad.
We'll talk after the show. Peace, Phil.
Deuces.
Fuck
Ben
Rich
Simmons.
Paul.